The hardest part about making more money is that it rarely makes you any freer. In fact, for most professionals, earning a higher salary actively delays their retirement. This happens because of the lifestyle gravity trap. The moment your paycheck goes up, your baseline expenses, a nicer apartment, a newer car, better restaurants, automatically creep up to consume the difference. We are taught to view wealth as a linear ladder. You climb it by working more hours, trading your physical labor for a steadily increasing paycheck, step by step. But escaping financial dependence doesn't work like a ladder. It works like escaping Earth's orbit. A rocket requires a massive, concentrated burst of thrust just to clear the launch pad and push through the atmosphere. You can work 60-hour weeks for 40 years, but until you understand the mechanics of this financial gravity, sheer hard work will never buy back your freedom. We call this initial struggle the gravity zone. This schematic shows the physics of those early wealth-building years, where your financial momentum relies entirely on your own labor. Even as you pour intense effort into saving, generating upward thrust, the weight of living expenses pushes right back down, keeping you pinned in place. You save consistently, check your account a year later, and the numbers have barely moved. This friction is the exact breaking point where most people surrender and default back to the linear labor trap. Surviving the gravity zone requires a structural change to your engine configuration, focusing on the mechanical efficiency of your system rather than just the intensity of your manual effort. Skipping your daily coffee or cutting out minor expenses will never generate enough thrust for an orbital escape. The math simply isn't there. Instead, you need to build what we call the wedge. This chart shows the standard career path. As your scalable income rises, your fixed living costs rise right alongside it in a tightly locked parallel track. To build the wedge, you start with defense. You implement the strict discipline of permanently locking your standard of living at a comfortable baseline, completely ignoring any future promotions or raises you receive. With your expenses anchored, you play offense. You acquire high-leverage digital skills, like coding, high-ticket sales, or video editing, allowing you to aggressively scale up your earning potential without scaling up your working hours. Look at this rapidly growing empty space on the graph. This glowing area is the wedge. It is the raw, untethered energy required to finally lift off and leave the gravity zone. Every single dollar successfully trapped inside this gap is a unit of future time you have bought back from the traditional labor market. But what do you do with that stored energy? If that cash just sits idle in a bank account, inflation strips away its power. You have to activate the amplifier, the strategic process of funneling your wedge directly into capital markets and scalable equity assets. These assets act as independent thrusters. Through compounding, they multiply outward on a massive scale, generating returns that require zero additional physical labor. Eventually, you reach the ultimate mathematical tipping point of wealth, the exact moment the annual baseline return of your investment portfolio surpasses the fixed baseline of your living expenses. Crossing this threshold decouples your physical labor from your basic survival. From this point on, your existence is funded by the yield of your assets rather than the hours of your day. Your financial system has achieved self-sustaining momentum. You have officially broken the gravitational pull of the lifestyle trap. You are now in the orbital phase. In this state, your financial assets generate exponentially more momentum than your manual labor ever could. The nature of your work changes at this altitude. Labor is no longer a requirement for survival, but a choice driven entirely by interest or impact. You trade survival-based labor for purpose-driven labor. You can build businesses, learn new skills, or take creative risks, knowing that the income is entirely optional and the financial anxiety is gone. So conduct an audit of your own momentum right now. Look at your most recent pay increase. Did you assign those dollars to your investments, or did you let them disappear into lifestyle upgrades? Every single pay bump you earn going forward will do one of two things. It will either increase your gravitational drag, or it will buy the thrust necessary to reach financial escape velocity.